Hi guys, welcome back to Michelle's Beauty Guide. On today's episode, I will be teaching you the quick and easy way to contour. Contouring has become a huge trend in the beauty industry, and I've had some people ask me how I do mine, questions on tips and tricks of how to get it to look beautiful without being too over the top. So that is our topic for today. Without further ado, let's get started. All right, so what is contouring? Contouring is a technique to define and sculpt and alter your face shape. So, like we went over in my face shape video, our ideal face shape is an oval. And depending on what your face shape is, your steps to contouring may differ from mine. I wanna first start off with a basic comparison or analogy for highlighting and contouring that really helped me when I was starting out. We're going to call highlighter white jeans and contour black jeans. So when you wear white jeans, you are enhancing the shape and size of your butt to make it appear larger. It brings all that attention to it. White makes things appear larger or closer. Contour is black jeans. When you wear black jeans, you are slimmed. It makes everything appear a little more receded and set back. Your butt's not going to look quite as large as it does in white jeans. So when you're highlighting, where you are putting your lighter product is going to make that come forward. Where you're putting that darker product is going to make it recede back. So like I said, we want to carve out the cheekbones. We want to bring the center of the face forward in order to get that oval shape. That is what we'll be doing today. Without further ado, guys, let's get into our demo. So I have done my foundation. I did a liquid foundation and a liquid concealer today, as well as my eyebrows. So we are going to start with our Tartiest Pro Glow palette. I'm going to go in with my Sculpt. That is our powder contour in this palette. And I'm going to take my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. That is this brush right here. It's really nice and fluffy, perfect for blending. And I honestly will just be using the edge of my brush in order to do my contour. So I'm going to, like I said, take the edge of my brush and I'm going to just pat that with my product. Got my product on the very corner there. And I'm just going to tap off the excess product. If you have too much product on your brush, it's just gonna end up flying all over your face, and that is not what we want. So we are going to be going in that 3 shape with our contour. So I always like to start on my cheeks. I like to start in my middle area of that 3 and then blend up and down. And I really wanna go from the ear down to the corner of my cheek. Sometimes if you suck in your cheeks, that will help you find that. So typically with contouring, you want to start higher rather than lower with this. So I'm going to start with just making my first initial line. And you see how I just moved it front and back just to make that line. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And now you can see where that goes from the corner of my mouth out to the center of my ear. And that's generally where you want to go. And then whatever is left on my brush, I'll take that and I'll just go all along my jaw. And I'm not going right here on my jaw. I'm literally going right underneath where that shadow already naturally goes. And I'm just going to blend that back and forth. I do have a little more of a square jawline. So I actually like to take that contour up and along the very corner of my jaw to help create a shadow there, so that gives me more of an oval shape. And then once I've used all of the product on my brush, I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna start blending these out. So I like to start from the outside and work my way in, since that was where most of my product is. When I establish my line, I want in that nice back and forth motion. I'll use those along with some really small circles. Staying very localized to this line is going to be important so that your contour doesn't get all over your face. So I'm just going to start on the outside And like I said, I'm just gonna work in little circles. I did not have any new product on my brush. I really prefer to add more product if I need it. So as we can see, that blended that out. I am going to add more product. So I'm gonna go back in, and I'm always using the edge of my brush for this. So I'm just going with my circular motions, back and forth, and then I'll blend out and up into my hairline. All right, so there's that side, and now we'll go on and we'll blend the other side. And you see how I kind of bring my mouth over like that? Sometimes that'll help you to really see where your line needs to go from your mouth out to your ear. Kind of helps to expose your natural cheekbone. And another thing you want to be mindful of is to not bring your contour too far in. If you start doing that, then you risk bringing your cheekbone all the way to the corner of your mouth, and that is not naturally how your cheeks look. So you want it to come kind of where you smile to the outside corner of that. You always want to blend into your hairline when you're contouring. That is very important. Always go into your hairline and always go down your neck as well. So now that I have generally both of my cheeks contoured, now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do my top hairline. So that 3 on both sides is going to meet. Depending on your face shape, you wanna take this into different areas. So my face shape up top is a little square. So I'm gonna focus on the corners of my square. I'm just going to lightly go on each corner, and I just kind of pat, get a little more product. I'm gonna pat, and then I'm gonna circle and blend that out, and I'm gonna bring that down into my hairline and kind of blend it down into this contour right here. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And then I'll take it up a little bit in here, but like I said, really focusing on those corners because I do have a square face. This all looks pretty good. I'm actually gonna go a little bit on the outside corner there, and we'll come back to that. So I do kind of jump around when I do my contouring. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna blend my neck first. And then I'm gonna go and just make sure that my cheeks are nice and chiseled how I want them. And today I went and put my powder, I'm doing my powder contour directly over top liquid foundation. So that's gonna kind of help, my foundation's gonna help kind of give me a little bit more grip for my product. You can do this over top of powder foundation as well. But this is really helping it to stick. So there, and then I'm not a fan of contouring my nose. However, I will do a little bit just on the very tip to give me a little bit more of like a button nose, but I do not like to contour my actual nose. That will come in another video as well. So now that I have done my powder contour, now I'm going to go in with a little bit of blush. I'm gonna use my Anastasia contour kit. And I'm going to use this kind of rusty color right down here. I really like using, especially once it hits fall, a little bit more of a rusty orangey kind of blush because I feel like it really blends so well with the contour and also just adds a little bit different of coloring to my face. So I'm going to start by just putting a little bit on the apples of my cheeks. And then I'm going to use those circular motions again and blend up and into my contour and also down into it. So I'll blend up, little circles, and then I'll just kind of flick down like so. And I'll do the same thing on this side. And then if you want, you can take a little extra along there and across your nose for a little additional color. All right, So there we go. Now, since I did not do my powder yet, I'm going to go through and do my powder underneath my eyes. I am going to be using the Anastasia banana powder. I absolutely love this product. It is a huge container. So the banana powder is really great for getting that additional cancellation underneath your eyes. So I'm going to take my flat foundation brush and I'm going to just pat my banana powder, tap off my excess product, and I'm just gonna go and pat that directly underneath my eyes. And then I'm just gonna blend out, and I'll do a little bit on my eyelids as well, just to help set that product too. And I wanna be careful not to take it too far down, or else that's going to put that product right on my contour. So I think the biggest thing with contouring is really just staying focused on the areas that you want your product. And yes, blending is very important, but sometimes if you get over focused on one area, then it's not really going to give you the effect that you want, because you're gonna start blending all over your face. And then I literally didn't even put any more product. I'm just going and I'm just kind of blending out the areas of my face that I did not contour and just want a little bit of powder on. And last but not least, I'm going to highlight. So I have the Morphe M523 brush. That is what I like to use for my highlighter. And I'm gonna go back in with my Tartiest Pro Glow palette. And I really am obsessed with strobe. That is this color right up here. So I'm just going to take that on my brush, tap off my excess. And then with your highlighter, you wanna go with a C motion around the outside of your eye, and then also down your T-zone. So I like to start on my cheeks. I like to smile a little bit, and I just brush back and forth right on top of the cheekbone. And then I'll kind of do little circles, and I go up to the outside corner, come right down the outside of my eyebrow, and just blend in a C motion around there. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Do your C motion. And then as far as the T-zone goes, you can go, like I did on my cheeks, do those same motions down your T-zone. But I just really like to get a little bit of product. I'll go on the very tip of my nose. I'll go up in between my eyebrows and just on the very center of my forehead. And then I'll go down onto my chin and on my Cupid's bow. So the benefit of putting highlighter on your Cupid's bow is to help your lips look fuller than they really are. So that is just the basic contour with powder products. I am going to go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup and show you the finished look. All right, so here is our beautiful finished look. I decided to include a little bit of how I would typically finish my makeup along with doing a contour, just in case you needed a little bit of inspiration on how to do a contour and still keep your look fairly light and beautiful. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments below. I will see you next week on Michelle's Beauty Guide.